Forge Fathers. So, another faction. This one gets quite a lot of love in Deadzone Outbreak, actually.
Would that be because it's Ronnie Ranson's company and he loves dwarves?
Quite possibly, who knows? But anyway, so they get some new leaders. 2 new leaders, actually. They already had 3. How many do they need?
5, obviously.
No, of course. And they get some new troops. Yeah, shall we talk about those?
The leaders of the troops.
All of it? Let's do it all.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It'd be thorough, like a dwarf would.
But then we'd take a millennium to do it. Oh well. Anyway, first off, they get a brand new leader in the Forge Lord. So this is a model that comes from the Warpath Kickstarter, actually. So he is quite cool. So he's like the leader of a clan, essentially. So he's the top dog in the Forge Father sort of echelon for that clan. And so therefore, he's pretty hard. He's actually quite similar to the Forge Guard Huskar, but unlike the Forge Guard Huskar, who can shoot very well on a 3+, the Forge Lord can fight very well on a 3+. And his special rule allows you to re-roll any dice in a fight action. So if you want to take a very combat-orientated Forge Father list, then he is your man. Now, why would you take a combat-orientated Forge Father list? Well, is he the only option? No. There's one more, isn't there, Ross? Who is it?
The Huskar. Forge Guard Huskar.
Not the Forge Guard.
Oh, you're on about the troops.
No. Keep going, we've got 10 minutes of this.
Is it the...
That's right, Ross.
Is it the Thorogrim Huskar?
Yeah, the Thorgarim Huskar, yes. So the Thorgarim, we got there in the end. The Thorgarim Huskar. So why is he very combat oriented as well?
Because he says stop, hammer time. Oh. I got the hammer.
We're going to keep that one in. So he's quite good. He comes with a 2-handed heat hammer. So these are new models that Mantic produced after the Deadzone Kickstarter, and actually after the Warpath Kickstarter. They weren't even an option in the Kickstarter there, they came afterwards. And they're in Firefight and Warpath, and they've never been in Deadzone because no one knew they existed, but they are now. And Thorgarin, their leader, is another great combat expert. His hammer has knockback and AP, that's right, AP2.
Nice Strider phasing.
So your Strider, that's always been fine with armor 3. Hang on, he's going to have a new enemy that he needs to be much more cautious of. Because, you know, a Thorgarim Huskar gets in there, fights on a 3, AP2, well, you know, you're going to have to...
Take his leg off.
Yeah, you're going to...
Then his other leg.
Yeah, maybe he's like that.
Then you take his arm.
Then
like the Black Knight. What's he going to do? Bleed oil over him?
That'd be the way. And so he's another interesting change up for the Forge Fathers, a very different way for them to play. And he comes with a very interesting splat, which is called... Thunderstruck! Which... You'll have to have a minute now to get over that. Which allows you to make a special action with any model that has a hammer. So, who has hammers in the Forge Father list? Well, Thorgarim. We'll come to them in a minute.
Everyone, you've modelled them all, haven't you?
Yeah. Forge Guard. Hammerfish Drop Troopers, sorry. And we haven't mentioned them before. Little tease there. And Brockers. So pretty much the vast majority of the models that you would take in a Forge Father list have hammers. So if you make a build around that, you can pretty much take every single model with a hammer. And if it allows you to essentially throw your hammer like a
like
frag.
Thor.
Yeah, pretty much actually.
Thorgarin.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you've done there. Oh, he's good, isn't he? Yeah.
I'm not a chaotic neutral.
So anyway, so they're, again, a very interesting and different way of playing with the Forged Fathers. Alright, so let's talk about the troops. What new troops are there? We've mentioned them.
Thorgarim.
Thorgarim. So Thorgarim are essentially steel warriors, but with these 2-handed heat hammers. So they are pretty good. They fight on 4s, AP2.
Still AP2 and knockback.
Yeah, so they can do some serious damage, I think, if they sort of get around into combat with you. And those sort of big models that you'd have often sort of felt, oh, I can survive this without any real problem. They're a bit more risk now, aren't they?
They're also slightly cheaper than Forge Guards, so probably going to see a fair bit of them because people will take them. Whereas if they were more expensive, people would probably carry on with the Forge Guard, but now these, and it's going to change the way people play.
Yeah.
Forge Guards are going to be running forward.
Yeah. So again, if you haven't seen the recent FAQ, still Warriors are now cheaper than they were in the original core book, and Brockers have gained Frenzy, so they are better in combat than they were, but we'll skip over those because that's been a fairly long change if you've been keeping up with Deadzone. Another model we do want to talk about is the Hammerfist Drop Trooper. Look at that face. Do you like Hammerfist Drop Troopers, Ross? They're very good. So this is a new specialist. Well, I say new. He's not really new.
He was in an elite list.
He was an elite list.
No one took him.
Yeah, he was in Bjorn Starnfeld's elite list, which is in one of the previous supplements. I forget which infestation, I think.
People didn't realise how good they actually are.
Yeah. So these guys can start off the board and be called in by another model who's already on the board as a special action. And then they come in and they land in an unoccupied cube, and they will pin and move all models in the surrounding cubes. That's right, all models in the surrounding cubes.
Beep, 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 beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep.
that's right. And the advantage of that, not only taking out things with heavy weapons and stuff, or teleport and stopping them from doing anything, but it moves them one cube away, which means
You throw them into walls.
yep, or off of buildings or things like that. So you can do a lot of sort of collateral damage actually by landing near them. The downside is that you do count as activated, and you are a free victory point model then just standing there. But if with careful timing of when you use them, I think they could be really, really powerful.
That's 5/4 armor 1 on life support. They're not going anywhere.
And there's lots of ways of playing them. You can either use them to bounce people into walls and cause damage there, or to knock out those heavy weapons for a round. So the other way of playing with them is to
Knock people off victory points.
knock people off victory points, yeah. Which is a really, really good technique actually, because particularly if you've got 2 victory points together, where you're gaining one and pushing them off another one, it's even better. So in the Occupy or Divide and Conquer missions, new missions, then there are objectives next door to each other. So you could land on one and push someone off the one if it's occupied. So yeah, another very interesting way of playing. Another new change is bomb bots. So bomb bots used to be a specialist category, so you used to have to unlock them by buying a troop, but now
No one took them, did they?
yeah, no one really took them because they were only quite cheap. They were 8 points no VPs.
And
Very
you had to blow
good.
them up to
Yeah.
get anything from them.
Very
So
good, but yeah, it seemed to be a bit of a waste. Now they are items in a very similar way to the Enforcer sentry guns. They're both an item and a model. So you buy them as an item, but they play in the game as if they're a model. So they've still got exactly the same rules and everything that they used to have, but because they're an item, it allows you to be a little bit more free and easy with how you use them and how you purchase them. And so they should see a lot more play, because at Boom 5, they're pretty amazing if they manage to go boom.
Just stick them on an objective. Watch no one go near them.
Well, that's another way, yeah, it's a very good way of playing, is to put them on objectives and just score round on round, because they are a model, so that's fine. And then there's one final thing in the Forge Father list which I want to talk about, and that is the Brocker Bike. So the Brocker Bike, like some of the others, has also benefited from the new evade rule and has become a little bit cheaper. So again, hopefully we'll see these gracing tables, because by looping around as fast as they are, they also bring an element of speed to the Forge Father that has previously been missing from their list. So that's pretty much it. There's a few point rebalances in other places, we won't go into those details.
Fire control not being as good with the 2 shoots.
Good point, yeah. So fire control is an ability that got a little bit broken because very few models have it. Basically, there's 2 models have it. And one of them was the Iron Ancestor, which is an incredibly powerful model in the Forge Father list. And if you took it with a double gun combo, effectively, in the previous rules, you would be able to shoot for both weapons and then play a shoot dice to get another 2 shots. And that's a little bit unfair, because if you had, say, an Enforcer Sniper, for instance, and you played shoot dice, you'd only get 1 shot. So he was getting extra applications on every single round. And so the new, or the errated ability of fire control allows you to only get a maximum of 1 shot with a shoot dice, which means that your Iron Ancestor with his twin Hailstorm autocannons on each arm will now be able to fire a maximum of 3 rather than 4 times per round by using a shoot dice. So
Still
that brings a
very
little
good.
bit more. Yeah, it's still incredibly good, but it brings a little bit more balance. So don't go complaining that, oh, suddenly my Iron Ancestor has been nerfed. If you need to complain about an Iron Ancestor being
Playing
nerfed,
wrong.
yeah, you are playing very
It's still
wrong.
brilliant.
Right, so that's pretty much it for the Forge Fathers. So they have gained a lot from this outbreak, but I think you'll find that there's some really cool models with them and some interesting new ways to play. So it's not just more of the same. You can bring a real combat-orientated Forge Father list now, which I think will be quite interesting and fun to play with. I've said that loads of times already.
That's what I'm building.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Right, take care guys. Thanks very much for watching.